All right, folks, we're talking about Tempe, Arizona again. Let's see if I can get through the entire video without messing up temper. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and well, we got to talk about the crash in Tempe, Arizona again. This is something. Has it been 1 year or 2 year? You know you're getting old when you start getting your years mixed up. But you all are very well aware of what happened. Heck, some of the videos on that topic were some of my most viewed videos on the channel. And that was where an autonomous vehicle hit and killed a pedestrian. And the woman died, and that incident actually pretty much reshaped Uber. I did not realize how much that was going to reshape the company. Well, I kind of thought that it would do something, but boy, for it to like completely upend the entire business plan they had, like you haven't heard much about their driverless cars since then. The cars are supposedly back on the road in Philadelphia, but you don't hear anything about them anymore. Uber is even looking for outside sources to help fund the autonomous vehicle program. And Uber has since shifted to food and scooters and even public transportation. But you don't hear them talking about autonomous vehicles nearly as much anymore. And that's largely because of this accident. Now, the family of the woman who was killed settled with Uber very quickly. Uber did not want to go to court about that. They settled as quickly as possible. But you know who didn't settle with the family? Well, the city of Tempe, Arizona themselves. They did not settle out of court with her family. And now the family is suing the company for $10 million. By the way, we've got some interesting photographs of the car and the accident. Like, yeah, that car was going way too fast. There was no way it would have stopped in time. So anyway, we've seen photos like that before. Let's get to the article. The family of the woman killed by an autonomous Uber vehicle last year, has filed a $10 million claim against Tempe, stating the city created a dangerous situation by paving a median where people were not supposed to cross the road. Now, before we go any further, sometimes I don't read these articles in advance because I kind of like getting the raw reaction from them. I'm going to continue reading this. This is an interesting argument for them to be going from, because I honestly thought that they would be going from the angle like, well, you put these cars on the road, you didn't have any safety instructions, and you let Uber do whatever they wanted, and only until after they killed someone did you say, get out. I thought that was the angle they'd be going for, but apparently not. So, Elaine Hertzberg, a 49-year-old woman who was homeless, was the first person in the country to be hit and killed by a self-driving car. A Volvo sport utility vehicle operated by Uber ran into her on March 18th as she crossed Mill Avenue outside of a crosswalk. The claim against Tempe was filed by Skusen, I don't know how to pronounce that, on behalf of Hertzberg's daughter, Christine Wood, and Hertzberg's husband, Rolf Zeman. The law firm is asking for $5 million for each of the survivors. Officials at the law firm did not respond to a request for comment. Zeman and Wood could not be reached. The city does not comment on pending litigation, said Nikki Ripley, a city spokesperson. Ripley confirmed that Tempe had not responded to the claim. At issue, brick pathway in median. The notice says the city is liable for the accident because the median on Mill Avenue where the accident occurred has a brick pathway cutting through the desert landscaping that is clearly designed to accommodate people to cross at the site of the accident. The city of Tempe tore out the X-shaped brick path in the median south of Curie Road in the fall. City spokesperson Nikki Ripley confirmed the brick walkway was replaced with rock landscaping and plants. The change was made about the time the city was hit with the claim. The Arizona Republic reported after the fatal accident that the area had signs telling people to use the crosswalk, but also the brick pathway that potentially could accommodate jaywalkers. So, not sure if I'm completely getting where they're going with this. Okay, so this is this graphic from the National Transportation Safety Board report on March 18th. Uber accident in Tempe shows the brick walkway in the median of Mill Avenue, which has been removed by the city. That's Oh, well, okay, here's the thing. I think this is what they're trying to say. See this X road right here? I think what they're saying is that there were like crosswalks on these parts, but maybe these crosswalks were removed. And if that's the case, then yeah, the car would not be aware of the marking on the ground. Of course, Uber was deactivating, sensors to get the cars to run, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered much anyway. I guess that's where they're... So yeah, if there used to be one there, then people might use that, but I don't see any crosswalks here. I actually don't think, and I'm not a lawyer, of course, so this is not me giving legal advice. This is just me as an outside spectator looking at this. But if they remove the crosswalks, then that seems to suggest that you shouldn't be crossing there. I mean, whether they used to be there or not is kind of irrelevant in my opinion. If it's not there, it's not there. You need to find a crosswalk. And I mean, granted, I live in a city where people don't use the crosswalks almost ever. In fact, crosswalks are pretty useless unless you want to, how should I put this? Catch someone with a ticket, because what a lot of police officers do here is that if you turn right over a crosswalk while even like a foot is on the crosswalk, then you can get a ticket. And so you'll have undercover cops like stepping on the crosswalks. People will see they're not moving, they turn right, and then the police pull them over, give them a ticket. Otherwise, pedestrians don't really care about them too much here. So yeah, okay, well, let's continue. Let's see what they're going for. Rafael Masquez, the driver behind the wheel of the vehicle while it was in auto drive mode, was watching The Voice via a streaming service in the minutes leading up to the crash, according to a police report. Less than 2 weeks after the accident, the law firm Bella Perez announced it had reached a settlement with Uber in the case for Wood. Reuters reported that resolution also included Zeman. Details were not disclosed. Another firm, Gallagher and Kennedy, said it was representing other family members. Okay, attorneys weigh in. This case is weak. So, okay, apparently I'm not the only one who's looking at this and thinking that this is not solid. 2 legal experts said it's unlikely the city would be found liable for the high dollar amount requested in the claim. Logan Elia, an attorney with the Rose Law Group, said the claim is not a very good one. Generally, the city is not obligated to warn people of open and obvious dangers. I love how they phrase that. Elia said, the obligation is in the other direction. People are obligated not to cross the street outside of crosswalks. The funny thing is, when I was growing up, my dad always pointed out, even as a young kid, sidewalks are for people, streets are for cars. And I kind of grew up feeling that way. That's probably why it annoys me way more when I see people just walking into the street. I mean, they'll always say like, hey, I have the right of way. If you hit me, I can sue you. And it's like, yeah, if I hit you, you can sue me if you survive. If I hit you, you will probably die. And yeah, I might go to jail for that. But what consolation is that to you? You're dead. So people, don't walk in the streets, okay? The claim also asserts that the city failed to provide a crosswalk at the site of the brick path. Quote, there's nothing in the report as I read it that says the accident would have been avoided had there been a painted crosswalk. I don't think there's much reason to suspect the city is going to shell out $10 million to settle this claim based on what was submitted. James Arrowwood, a lawyer who specializes in motor vehicle and product liability issues and teaches the State Bar of Arizona course on driverless cars, also thought the case was weak. He said it's possible any defendant, the city included, might settle a case rather than pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire experts and go to trial, but he also doesn't expect the city to pay the amount requested. Quote, that number is for the purposes of intimidation and getting press. If those things succeed, they try to squeeze out a higher number on the settlement value. Would they sell for $50,000 each? If so, U.S. counsel might advise your client to get out while you can. He said such cases can be tricky. There are often a number of facts known to both sides or one side or the other. The public does not know, he said. I think that's the end of... Okay, let's go back to this... Yeah, so anyway, to me, it seems like the case is weak. That is a very, very strange thing to go after the company for. That's or not the company, the state. That's like saying the state redid some things and then kind of decided, you know what, we don't need this stop sign anymore. And they took the stop sign out and they removed it from the pavement and everything. And then someone who got hit there, their family sued them because like, well, there used to be a stop sign there. It's like, oh yeah, but there's not a stop sign now. Again, I think the family would have gotten a lot more out of them had they gone after them on the basis that Arizona and particular Governor Ducey let Uber have free reign of the roads. He said, the cars are welcome, innovation is welcome, you come to Arizona, you will be treated as king. Uber came, they were not given any limitations, they were not given any safety requirements, they were not inspected thoroughly, they were just put on the road. And not very long after, I think it was just a couple months later, this happened where this lady died. And then they were informed, you have to leave, you're not welcome here. Well, you know what? Had you been doing your due diligence, Arizona, maybe you would have realized that Uber was doing things like turning the sensors off and you shouldn't let them on the road. And that would be something to go after them on, because that is negligence in my opinion. Maybe not in the eyes of the court. Who knows? The court might disagree. That's fine. That's one of the reasons you take companies and states to court. But this is a particularly weak argument. And it seems like I'm not the only one who thinks so. But what say you? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love to know. So comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but any of those $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my patrons only blog. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.